And back into game we go. RNG up against Newbee here. Best of 5, don't forget. I'm feeling like we're going to have a pretty long road here. Both of these teams have been performing exceptionally well. Should be a close-fought battle between these two squads. Moogie on the Phantom Lancer. September and Flywind. Nix Abaddon with Super AA here. And Waishi, the Shadow Demon, not too far away with AQ Razor against the Setsu Storm. There you go, Lacoste. Setsu Storm. Faith down bottom on the Clockwork with Wizard Centaur, and Monet is going to be your Dragon Knight, going for the beautiful item build that we love to see. Quelling, Ring of Protection to start things off, into Buckler, Soul Ring, Magic Wand, tons of sustain, both mana, HP, and of course the tankiness of that armor from the Dragon Knight. Great in lane.
And Super has that headdress. So once Dragon Knight is standing close to the tower, if he gets a point in Dragon Blood, should have 11 armor, and regen is gonna be 4, 6, almost 9 per second.
Oh. And then Tango's on top if need be. Oh, bottom outpost grabbed up by Faith. See what they do with that, and Super will TP down bottom. Like you were saying, with that headdress. Gives them tons of lane sustain. A Centaur with one pooled Tango, not queuing or buying anything. Wait, what's he got coming? He has got something.
Ring of Tarrasque.
Ring of Tarrasque is already out there, yeah. Faith with the headdress down here as well. So Centaur, almost 10 HP regen a second on the big boy. Good, a bit of harass there from Faith to start things off. Giving Wizard a good start in that lane. As mid, Razor against Storm. 2 for 2 for AQ. Razor should have a decent time early on, getting some real good harass and trading hits with the Storm Spirit. But Storm can farm equally well, especially if he can dip back into that medium camp as he gets himself some points in Remnant.
One of the reasons why he decided to go for bottle early on, which we don't usually see lately since the recent changes to runes. There's no 2-minute rune anymore. So most of the players just skip it, but he wants to be able to sustain in the lane, have that extra HP regen early on, and he can farm the camp that you said on the side lane.
And it maybe means he's thinking that, you know, if one of his side lane supports dies, they can TP into the mid lane from Fountain and refill it up as well. Or even just, you know, walk back to base if they're low enough and come back in to regen the Storm. We've always got that handy backup plan. Waishi with boots up. Gets his sentry down to unblock that pull camp. His Dragon Knight 10 and 3 so far, having a fantastic start. Faith has been unable to find an opening here, trying to leech as little experience from the Centaur as possible. Ring of Tarrasque, Ring of Regen, and the headdress. Tons of HP. Faith considering the kill on the courier, but not going to get the job done. And in fact, you look at Monet, he's got Breathe Fire and Dragon Blood, no points in stun yet.
Interesting. We see how deadly this lane can be. Most of the time, Dragon Knights just go for like 0, 1, 2 build.
Up at top, September. Lands a good stun onto Moogie. Forced the doppelganger away. As that pull camp contested. Now bottom, there's the Dragon Tail, Cold Feet, combo it up. Wizard gets snapped into place and the right clicks come through for your first blood. Breathe Fire secures it. Monet grabs up the kill on Centaur, perfectly timed.
So now they have a buckler and a headdress on the bottom lane. Extra armor, extra HP. Centaur even tried to adjust in trading hits in this lane, buying Ring of Regen, Ring of Tarrasque, but the harassment from Dragon Knight early on is just too much. And like Dragon Knight is just a stronger hero in the laning stage. He gets the armor, he gets the HP regen, so he can trade much better.
There's like no point leveling Double Edge at all, right? You're not going to be able to get utilization out of it if you're using it on Monet anyway.
This is where Centaur shines, and also one of the reasons why he is a first pick material. If you're laning against the melee core, you just keep harassing me. You have this unlimited regen, the Ring of Tarrasque, you buy another ring, and then every time someone gets close, you use Double Edge.
4-minute runes, Lacoste. We're about to spawn up. Faith Clockwork down at the bottom spot, and it's going to be a regen rune for AQ. So no refill for Setsu. Boots bottle on the Storm Spirit. No one there to give him a full bottle, but I guess Super's going to TP into mid lane and do that for him, right? Super's walked back to Fountain, and this is what you kind of expect. The position 5. TPing mid, refill the bottle, beautiful stuff. And Super can now get a bit of harassment onto AQ as well, and swing back down to bottom lane. And this is thanks to what you were saying about the Dragon Knight. DK doesn't need no help. Strong, independent man down south. Doesn't even care that Super's left his lane.
And we see that more often. Support just staying away from experience so they can give their safe laners level 6 faster, and then they put more pressure. Also, one of the things that I talked about in the previous series, how to counter like such a strong laners like a Dragon Knight, where you can't trade the hits, can't trade the farm. The only thing you do is you just creep skip. I think that we're gonna see more of Darkseer, more of Batriders, the heroes Axes, even the heroes that are very good at creep skipping.
Oh, look at that stack Setsu's got for himself. Early point in Vortex, which we're seeing more and more often now as well. Clear through a pretty hefty large camp, giving Super a bit of free time mid lane to get some experience, defend that tower against the catapult wave. And that allows Setsu to hit level 6 now, so no longer under any threat whatsoever from, you know, Clockwork plus Razor, rotation into static link cogs.
If there are not many rotations early on, before 10-minute mark, it's hard for both supports to get level 6, even with the tome, unless you give one of the supports a free lane and one of your cores goes to jungle.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Centaur cutting wave down bottom. As Faith and AQ are looking for Super, not connecting with the plasma field. So no real way there for Faith to get in under the tier 1. September continues to chain pull here. Mugi being left completely alone. It doesn't seem like why she has much of a job up there. Maybe a courier snipe. He keeps the vision on it. One more hit. Oh, he's not going to get it. Ancient Apparition walking up to high ground into a double damage rune Razor. Super clipped by the plasma. TP out, but Disruption will stop it. Doesn't look like RNG want to try and bail the AA out. That is just going to be a freebie. But it's your position 5 falling, you know, Dragon Knight's farming, Storm staying alive in this lane. That feels perfectly reasonable just to give up an AA in that kind of scenario.
Even though AA lost 90 gold from that, Dragon Knight is farming both lane and the jungle at the same time. Storm is having an easy time on a mid lane. One of the reasons why Dragon Knight is so popular, and I love this, going for that Shadow Blade, which gives you a second hero that Storm can play with, on top of AA's global presence.
We're trying to
TP bottom.
make a move on Monet, stampeding forward, and why she is here. Another double edge, but a 2-man stun. Disruption holds the DK in place and opens them up to a kill. Good rotations in. That was Dragon Knight playing over aggressively in that little clump of trees, getting caught out completely between a couple of heroes and creeps. Good
I
maneuver.
expected a Baron maybe to TP. A Photic Shield, casting it twice, could have kept him alive there. But a Baron playing more of a greedy style at the moment, getting a lot of farm. It's hard for Phantom Lancer to be in this lane and get more farm than him. Like, he gets multiple points in Curse of Avernus, and he hits you 3 times. You need to use Doppelganger defensively, otherwise he's gonna silence you and get that extra attack speed. Bottom
Nice
lane.
TP by Razor and Wizard. He's actually going to be saved by AQ's rotation. Why she? Of course, there with the disruption as well as September. Dropping low. Soul Catcher is dispelled off, worn out, but Razor's not done just yet. 4 heroes from Newbee down here. Monet trapped under his own tower. Not a target they want to continue going on. But getting this Razor involved from a very early point, really nice to see from Newbee. Just trying to drag the attention away from the top lane. RNG right now. I think priority is going to be getting level 6 up on Super's Ancient Apparition. Have that Ice Blast ready as quickly as you can. Nyx also needs that Vendetta, because as soon as the 2 supports on the Radiant hit 6, it gives them kill threat anywhere on the map with a Storm Spirit, Ball Lightning, Vendetta to scout, Ice Blast to connect. I think they can probably kill off anybody.
RNG's lineup very easy to execute once they hit level 6 on those 2 supports. Dragonite gets a Shadow Blade up and running. Dragonite didn't pressure the bottom tower at all. They're doing a good job just defending it, playing around the catapult timing, getting a gank on that DK. Phantom Lancer going for Hood. I think it's fine when you're playing against AA, Dragonite, Storm Spirit, Nyx. There's a ton of magical damage. So even when you have a Diffusal Blade after that, like, you still feel very strong.
Keeping tabs on Setsu's Storm. Lots of really good vision here from Faith as he's been wandering around the map. They know exactly where everyone is, and they're going to shift Mugi down to bottom lane as Phantom Lancer kind of middle of the pack net worth-wise, but not a massive difference between any of these cores, to be honest with you. Let's fly when top lane with the Curse of Avernus. Dragonite helping to shove into that tower. Wizard. 13 retaliate stacks, catapult, makes short work of the one down bottom. What's Razor up to? Building into Ewell's, then BKB it looks like, so trying to hit that early timing, while PL working on a Hood before his Diffusal Blade. Tank up against this magical damage, and of course that snipe threat from the 2 Radiant supports. Now they're starting to get to level 6, yeah, they've both cracked it. I would love to see a move from them. Play up towards the northern part of the map into this DK Abaddon who have set themselves up. It looks like for now they're going to play a little safer, sitting in front of towers, defending against any of the pushes that Newbee throw their way.
Next Assassin is level 6, but for now just farming on the mid lane. Dragonite finishes his Shadow Blade in 50 gold. So 2 Invis heroes, which means Newbee will have to expend a lot of resources for buying sentries and dust to kill these 2 heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wizard with Faith. We've got Stampede, Hookshot. He has full Hood treads on this Centaur. Nearly 2,000 HP. With magic resistance on top. And Dire Sentry scouts the Nyx, but nice carapace. As the Ice Blast flies overhead of Faith. A quick little break onto Centaur, but no stun follow through. They'll focus the Clockwork instead and get the freebie there, as well as the Courier. Quickly removing the Clockwork from the map. Now Storm has this whole bottom lane to himself. And Abaddon, yeah, in front of the tier 1 mid defending tower, so no move that Newbee can make apart from kind of farm jungle and build up a little slower themselves.
I want to see which talent Dragonite picks up. The left talent, minus 30% breed fire damage reduction, is insane against PL and his illusions. But Mana talent is also great since he builds into the Diffusal Blade.
Now where's Monet going? Shadow Blade finds Razor. Gets a couple of hits in with a Dragon Tail, and now the chain stun cancelled. Good Clockwork hook shot. That would have been AQ dead for sure if Faith hadn't stepped in there and thrown his body in front of the president.
Clockwork 2 times in a row. First saving a Centaur, now saving a Razor.
Tank the gank. There's still pressure coming though. RNG setting themselves up on the map in that dire jungle area. Getting DK very farmed, closing in on BKB. And both of these mid laners going for kind of a primary item, then BKBs as quickly as they can. But it's the Storm Bloodstone that is the most important factor for the Radiant, and now the Diffusal Blade. A couple thousand gold away for that Phantom Lancer. Oh, Centaur has Blink. Wizard has a great way of initiating on that Storm Spirit if they want to go and find some pickoffs. But the problem is, they've only taken the bottom tier 1, so avenues into areas where Storm's going to be farming, they're kind of limited.
Oh, can they find the real one? They know.
They found it. Ice Blast with the stuns, chained beautifully, and there it is. That long-range artillery. They don't even need the Storm. It's the DK Nyx playing together. Both invised up. And you were talking, you know, the economic damage here. Newbee have to buy sentries and dust and continually try and keep vision. September and Monet so far having free reign of this side of the map.
Dire's bottom
And there's the pressure coming at long last. 14 minutes in, the Dragon Knight gets to touch the enemy tier 1 tower.
We have not seen Shadow Demon besides the laning stage presence. It's hard for him to play with a hero. Like, who does he join? Clockwork is only position 5. Yeah, he has battery maxed out. It's only position 5 Nyx, so they're okay. I mean, it's a 4/5 Nyx. I don't think Nyx is gonna like scale with these items. He's just tanking up with 2 bracers, magic wand.
He's a mobile observer ward. Scout people out, stun them up, set things up for your team. He's kind of the one that you throw into the middle and say, hey, this is a body in the fight. Focus the Nyx Assassin. If he gets his spells off, then that's grand. Storm with Bloodstone. Ironwood Tree with a BKB queued up for himself. Man, both of these teams, very early BKB timings for a number of their cores as Newbee bail away. Don't want to get caught out by the Dragon Knight invis. We're going to remind me at the end of the game to see how many sentries everyone bought, Lacoste, because they are being spammed out everywhere.
I will. We see a difference between some of these Chinese teams who prefer to go like second item BKB on their cores, especially the mid laners. Well, once again, Clockwork tanking the gang for his team, breaking the smoke.
Dire's bottom
PL straight up to top, seeing the entire enemy team down here. It will allow RNG to get themselves an objective in that tier 1 and Storm a pretty juicy creep wave.
Radiant's middle tower.
With Vendetta on cooldown, they don't have a great way of kind of traversing the map and getting back up to top to hunt anyone else, so still plenty of time here for Razor to swing into BKB as we get ourselves some neutral items. Anything shiny? What have we got? Grove Bow, Dragon Scale. Ourselves Philosopher's Stone on the Shadow Demon. And it looks like Razor just going to be holding on to the Essence Ring for the time being. Radiant need to pick up the pace on those neutral items. Come on, Dragon Knight. Kill some Wild Wings.
But Dragon Knight has Radiance queued up. Wants to go for more like late game oriented build. He sees that Phantom Lancer is joining any fights right now, even though he could with the freshly bought Diffusal Blade. So the missed chance from Radiance is gonna be super good. And it also increases your farm potential. So if you can get the Radiance by a BKB after that without dying, nay, okay, they don't see him.
Oh, they don't find him. And September pops the smoke. Sentry and Dust both off the mark. So Newbee are going to have to content themselves with a tier 1. But yeah, Dragon Knight. Radiance. You're against the Shadow Demon. Oh, Flywin. Abaddon getting caught up in a hectic battle. Storm in with an Ice Blast landing is beautiful, but Setsu can't finish off AQ just yet. The Yule's into the air and the mana being burnt. Balls away as AQ survives. Phantom Lancer needs to retreat now as they'll kill off, would you believe it, the Clockwork. Tanks the entire fight for his team. 1 casualty as Newbee don't quite finish off the tier 1, but they don't lose any key targets either.
And they defend the tier 1 tower. So they have a tower to TP to if there's a fight happening near the Roche. They're also keeping their tier 1 tower on the mid alive. Setsu will pick up Region Rune. The problem is, if Storm is playing around Phantom Lancer, he's getting all his mana burn. Same goes for Abaddon. It's really hard to itemize, besides going for a BKB. On Storm Spirit, of course.
Oh, that's what
Phantom
Storm's doing.
Lancer, look at this. Aghanim Scepter queued up.
Removes cooldown and minimum distance on Phantom Rush. So permanent Phantom Rush.
Dire's structures are fortified.
44 bonus agility. Oh, shh. That's my bad. Wizard dies mid lane. A jump from Storm onto AQ again, but coming to nothing. And Wizard, yeah, he died up top lane. No one there to save him. I don't think I've seen the new Phantom Lancer axe, to be honest with you, Lacoste. It's just...
I've seen it. I don't think it's like that good to get a third item.
I mean, it's Ag stats plus 40. Like, you have the 44 bonus at Agi permanently, right?
Yes.
If you're clicking people.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's all right. Gives you the ability to engage and disengage consistently as well with no cooldown.
Dire's
So you get some
has fallen.
tank ability, and you get, like, if you think about agility 44, and then you get 10 extra from Blade of Alacrity. It's valuable if you do the math
It
correctly.
sure is. And you've done that, haven't you? You've added the numbers, you've carried the one. And we're there with lots of agility on the Phantom Lancer. Oh, hello, RNG inside the Roche pit. I say RNG, it is just Monet. Dragonite is soloing Roche. That's the rest of his squad. Here's Flywind, coming with the Vlad to the pipe. And of course that Curse of Avernus. Get them some attack speed, whack into the big man. Newbee are ready to respond though. Rocket Flare scouting it out. Roshan for now will be left alone to his own devices. But it's moves like this where Newbee now kind of all grouped up in the mid lane. Storm and DK both farming away. And the split back means AQ and Mugi, this Razor and PL back towards the side lanes. It could be a good smoke time from RNG. They've kind of drawn Newbee in, and now they're spreading out to play big map. We should see Nyx scouting something. I would love to see him play with a DK right now.
And DK wants to keep farming, finish off his BKB. Right now he seems, I'm not gonna say vulnerable because he is tanky, but getting his mana burn in a fight by PL and the illusions. Also, Razor wants the static link Dragonite in a fight.
Nether Shawl on the DK. Doesn't care about losing that 3 armor. Getting more magic resistance is super nice. Stampede in with a hook shot forward. Wizard with a 2-man stomp. And Setsu, BKB very early on. They're trapped inside the cogs. In the back,
Big
September
ale.
has been disrupted up. And Ice Blast kills off Faith with Monet being traded back. As Super finding Wizard as a bonus kill. And Roshan is still up. Phantom Lancer can keep on fighting as Flywind has lost all of his mana, still with 12 wand and borrowed time to go. But Roshan, it looks like it might be in the hands of Newbee. As the ball in again, backline stabbed, a 2-man stun. No, the Yule's up. Buys time for Razor to turn and fight into Super. But this Setsu Storm is shredding Newbee. Mugi's left all alone. The SD will TP to come and save his buddy. PL needs to bail to high ground, and luckily for him, the Doppelganger gets him just far enough away. Kill off the illusions. And RNG, do you go back in the pit? Do you try and finish this one off? Because it is Spooky Town. Mugi has illusions. And you've got very limited mana. Storm bashed up by the Roshan. DK alive now. He can TP in and come to really secure this up. So Mugi's in the pit trying to snag it for Newbee. As Faith in towards September, but Flywind's a bad one. He's here to save the day. September still being battery assaulted, but the back, the poor Shadow Demon, the die back as the ball lightning of Storm just keeps on going, and the Ice Blast, perfect, onto Faith once more. The hook shot didn't do a damn thing, and they've got the chain stun onto Mugi. We can't move. He was stunned forever.
AA, Cold Feet, level 4 plus a Dragonite stun. And this fight has been going for more than a minute and a half. Storm Spirit
Is under attack.
had his BKB ready for 20 seconds ago, so that means that fight was really long. And now you get the Aegis on the best carrier in the game. Even picks up a rune, Arcane Rune on top of that. Oof. It's not looking good. Storm Spirit realized that he needs to stay away from PL and his illusion, so he's better just zipping in and zipping out than using Remnant to kill them. Abaddon also going for Lotus Orb, which will give him over time mana regen on top of Vlad's, and will have an ability to dispel Soul Catcher.
Oh, that's a good point.
And it's great against Static Link.
Yeah, I was thinking Static Link, and then you mentioned the Soul Catcher, and of course that massive percentage-based damage. 35% current HP lost. Super good on the DK and the Abaddon especially. I guess even the Storm Spirit has the BKB to deal with it. 2,000 HP on him is pretty hefty too. 22 Bloodstone charges working very quickly towards the Orchid. These Ice Blasts from Super. And it's like almost 7 seconds of stun with level 4 Cold Feet, level 4 Dragon Tail. That Phantom Lancer, I was wondering what the hell had caught him out. Just absolutely annihilated by the lockdown here from RNG. 14-8 with a 9k lead. We're getting into that mid-game real strongly now. Arcane Rune on Storm, still being held in the bottle. Newbee. They had some real great moves early on with this Razor, shifting into bot lane, finding pickoffs, getting tower. But they've not been able to capitalize on the Razor's early momentum. And even though he's looking pretty decent net worth-wise, the gap is starting to build between him and his counterparts. PL disrupted.
RNG will knock on their tier 3 towers. 4 hits from a Baron will silence the tower. Talk about useless, but the extra attack speed will do the trick.
Hell yeah. Storm zips out, half HP tower. No need to stick around for any nonsense from Newbee. They've got Dragon Form in 10 seconds. If they want to try and find a fight on this high ground, they could do so quite easily. And Newbee, you know, they're playing together this 5-man style that has become their kind of trademark. Really does limit them in how they can move around the map.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But hang on a second.
Hanging on a second. What's
Aghanim
happening?
Scepter. It says Phantom Rush removes cooldown and minimum distance.
Yes.
But the cooldown is still there.
Well, still in beta, you know.
Is that just a
lot.
visual bug?
It's a bug. It is a bug.
Okay. My brain is small and smooth.
Dire's middle tower.
Sometimes I'm not the smartest cookie.
But it's said.
Hello, Wizard. The chain stuns. I mean, he can't move. Disruption will keep him alive for a couple of seconds' time and maybe allow the Stampede or the Blink away. Nicely done. Hook shot onto September and the Cog's not coming. Wizard has fallen as Setsu takes him down with the Dragon Knight killing off Faith. The Clockwork gone and Setsu still alive and going. As the PL Illusions trying to give chase. Well, this is a simple tier 2 now. Elder Dragon form is up. They've got a 10-second BKB on their DK, and honestly, Lacoste, it might be high ground and, well, game ending.
But it still puts it on cooldown, the Phantom Rush. I was just watching the Phantom Lancer.
There's nothing the PL can do to stop this. Ball lightning onto the Shadow Demon, who has a Ghost Scepter now, but that doesn't save you against the Ice Blast and long-range stun from September. Quick snap into action as AQ forced to BKB. And Storm Spirit still very tanky and still with Aegis of the Immortal in hand. They bring down the tier 3 and look for barracks now. Dragon Knight, another, what, 5 seconds left on ulti. They can get some good damage in. Nice spreading of hits there to make sure they go. Oh, the stun! He's immediately trapped.
Oh,
Wizard, he blinked into initiate, but a 2-man impale. Moog is caught in the back, and this might be it for Newbee. To 18-8, and RNG slicing and dicing their opponents.
Yeah, I think this one is ending in a second, and there it is. Newbee calling it out. There's a huge difference what these two supports did after 10-minute mark. You have global presence, you have a lot of ganking potential. Dragon Knight was having an extremely good time on the bottom lane, farming up